name is Stephanie, and I am with Beauty of Chalk, and I'm a designer with Couture. For those of you who don't know me, I am a full-time dental hygienist. I am married and I have 3 children. My oldest daughter is 25. She's been married for almost 4 years in 2 weeks. And I have a son who's 21, and my youngest daughter is 12. She loves to chalk with me, so this is a real fun thing. I started my business about a year ago, last July, during the pandemic when I was still at home during COVID shutdown, and so I am thrilled to show this to you tonight. So this is just going to be a quick little demo, just to kind of show you what we do and how to do chalk couture. So basically what we do is we have chalk paste, and we also have ink, and we use little squeegees, and we have reusable transfers, and these are silk screens that you can apply to any type of surface, whether it be a chalkboard, a piece of wood, glass, metal, anything like that. And you can chalk with it or ink with it or etch with it. So I'll be showing you a little bit about that all week. And so today I'm just going to show you how to chalk. I've got a cute little board and base is what we call it. This is one of our chalkboards. It's a 5x7 size, and it comes with the base here. You can see that it has a little slit in the side here, which the chalkboard actually sets into. And I really like that feature because this will actually stand up, so you don't have to lay the board down or worry about hanging it up. So another thing I like about this surface, let me see if I can get this open. Goodness, it's like the plastic is on a rip. Is that it is double-sided. So you can do a project on this side and then turn it around and do it over here, or you can do it horizontal, vertical, whichever way you want to do it. And then it sets in this little holder here, so makes it nice. So like right now with all the holidays, you could do something for harvest, you know, pumpkins or whatnot, and then on the other side you can do Halloween, or you can do your Thanksgiving stuff and Christmas. So whatever you'd like to do, it's a lot of fun. I know some people have stained the wood or painted the wood instead of having it just like this, but that's up to you. Sky's the limit with what you want to do, your imagination, because you can pretty much do anything you want with this. So if you see a wording that you like, but you have a different pattern with the background, you can layer them. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do. It's just pretty amazing. So when you first start with your transfers, they come in these cute little packages. And if you forget how to do it when you're first starting, there are directions on the back side, which is super nice. So you can just kind of read through, and it tells you exactly how to use the transfers and the chalk paste, and also how to care for them once you're done, when you want to rinse off and clean. But I'm going to show you that tonight. I've got a little dish here with some water, and so I'm going to show you how to work it. Now we call these transfers, and it separates us kind of like from the Cricut crowd. So, because you know, when you guys are, you know, when some of you probably already use the Cricut and the vinyl and stuff, it's like a one-time use. These here, you can wash the ink or the chalk paste off, or the etching material if you happen to etch, and just wash it right off. And you can dry it and then let it set, and then you can store it back on the paper and put it back in the little package, and it's ready to go for the next use, which is super nice. Now, what we do is we have this paper, and what I usually like to do is take like a permanent marker or marker or whatnot, and just kind of write on the back what it is. So that way I know that when I put this paper back on, that this is the back side. And because when you pull the transfer off, I'll show you here in just a second. When you pull this off, I don't know if you guys can you guys see how that paper right here is kind of glossy and shiny? That helps your transfer to lay down and stick to it. If you stick it to the wrong side, then that sticky side of the transfer is going to stick to this paper, and then you're going to have all that paper on the back of your transfer. So you don't want to do that. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and and peel this off. I'm going to put these right over here. And the first thing you want to do is you want to do a process called fuzzing. So we have these cute little fuzzing cloths that you can purchase on the website that are there for us, or you know, if you have a kitchen towel or your shirt, your shorts, whatever, but you can see it's sticky. And what you want to do is you kind of go through a linting process where you kind of want to pick up some fuzz, some lint, just so that the transfer isn't super duper sticky. Because if it's real sticky and you're using a glass or a metal container, the transfer is going to stick so hard that's going to be hard to peel it back when you're done chalking. So you want to put a nice little layer of the fuzz on the back of it. So, because what will happen is if you pull it too hard, this here can stretch and distort your image, and then it won't set down properly for the next use, and then the transfer is ruined. You won't be able to reuse it again. So you just want to make sure that you just fuzz it real good. And with this type of board, what I like to do is just kind of put this up towards the top of the chalkboard and just kind of make sure it's kind of even and straight. Okay, if there's a little bubble, just pull it up and just kind of smooth it back off. But the reason why I want to put it up towards the top is because, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. We have this here that's going to go through, and we don't want to put it down too far to where the letters or the pattern gets cut off. Now this one isn't really super big, but there's others that are going to fill it up a little bit more. So you just know that, or you'll do it. You go to and then you'll put it in here and go, oh, Stephanie told me not to do that. So I learned that the hard way. So I just always like to try and share that with you, so that way you don't do what I do. But it's practice. So so when I put the transfer down, pretty much what I like to do is I kind of like to just kind of go around the transfer and just make sure that it's pressed down all the way onto the board and that there are no bubbles in the transfer, so that way the paste doesn't seep through and leak through onto the other side. And because sometimes when you have these little fuzzing cloths, you know, sometimes if you open a jar of paste over top, you can get a little bit of the crumbs from the chalk on here, and then it will create like a little bubble on the silk screen here. And so you want to make sure you peel that back up and remove it before you chalk. Otherwise, you're going to have a little spot that doesn't get chalked. Just FYI. So you can get any of our chalks either in a 3-ounce jar or the chalk singles. I don't have any right here with me, but some of our singles come in 6-packs with a variety of colors, and sometimes they come in all one color, so it's however you want to buy it. Or if you're using it a lot, then I would suggest using the jars. These are 3-ounce jars, and when you open them up, we have all of our chalk paste in there. It's nice and creamy. This is the new paste. They reformulated it and it came out earlier this year. So they call it the creamy dreamy paste. So it's nice and creamy and smooth, not lumpy and bumpy like the other one was. So with your squeegee, We have different sizes. This is a small squeegee. This is a mini squeegee. Then we also have a multi-tool and also a detail tool. So I don't know if you guys can see this. See these here. Oops. But these are kind of nice for smaller places. And this one is curved, so it's nice when you're taking your chalk paste and you want to stir it up. It gets in the corners really nicely. So I do like that. And then this one here is the detail tool. So you guys can see how much smaller it is. So if you have like a little tiny words or flowers or something that you need to do, you can do that. And then if you use the other side, take this little thing off, you guys can see that little tiny part. That's great for little tiny spots that you might have missed, or if it does, the paste seeps through the transfer, you can take this little piece and you can scrape it off. So it's a detail tool. So I absolutely love this. Recommend these if you're going to be chalking. These are definite tools that I would suggest that you get. You'll notice that the squeegee they're all flexible, so you can do whatever you want with them. But at the end they're tapered, so it kind of looks like, I heard someone say it looks like a car, like a windshield. So that allows you to kind of pick up the paste and smooth it all over your transfer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chalk this real quick for you guys, and I'm just going to pick up some paste. And then all I'm going to do is just very easily, I'm going to just kind of rub all that around. And you can just make sure that you cover all of the silk screen. It's super duper important that you do that, okay? You can put as much chalk on there as you want, but once you get it on there, what I like to do is I like to go back through and remove all the extra paste and put it back in my jar. So that way it's ready and you can use it again, so you don't want to waste it. But you just want to make sure that everything's nice and level on here. You guys can see that. No lines or streaks. And then you just basically want to take and not pull from one corner. You can either pull from two corners like this, or sometimes it helps if you hold one down and pull up in the center, again, because you don't want to distort your image. And there you guys go. Sorry, that light sometimes is shiny, but joy. And it's kind of got that vintagey look and the different patterns and stuff. So you can see that in the actual transfer too. So that's awesome. When you're done, just set it in the water, okay? Let me close this up. You always want to keep your jars closed when you're not using them, because as you guys know, the chalk paste is water soluble. So if you get water on your designs and stuff, it's going to distort. Plus, like I said, it's going to be super easy to remove. You don't want to put your transfer in the water and just let it set and set and set. You want to put it in there, let it set for a minute, and then I'm using a dry erase, kind of a board eraser, kind of like one of those Mr. Clean board erasers that you can get at the store for cleaning. It works the same way, but what it's doing is it's taking the chalk off of the transfer. I know I posted in the party earlier this week the transfer and that it can stain. It's totally fine because these darker colors, the red, there we go, I'm making a mess. The reds, the darks, blacks, all of that definitely can stain your transfer, but as long as your I don't want to get this all wet. As long as your transfer, the silk screen part is nice and clean, then it's totally fine. You can still reuse your transfer. So, sorry guys. Sometimes I can get a little crazy with stuff. But hey, that's life, you know. I'm not perfect, so I make a mess. So all I do is clean it up, and we're good to go for the next round. So anyway, so that's how you clean your transfer. It's super easy. So don't panic. Like I said, if you see a little bit of the, you know, the red that's kind of stained on the outside, don't worry, it'll be fine. Just clean it the best you can. Make sure that all the silk screen's clean, and then you're good to go. And then you want to just rinse this off when you are done and in the sink. And I have a towel out so I can rinse it off real quick and just set it up to dry. It doesn't take very long to dry, depending on how warm or cold your house is, but it'll dry really quickly. And then you can put that paper back down on the transfer when you're done. So give me just 1 second here. Oh, another good thing you want to know too is you never ever want to touch the two sticky sides together, because then it is a real big pain to get them apart. So you don't want to do that, that's for sure. All right. So there's that one. We've got one more to do, but in the meantime, I know that this has just kind of been sitting here drying, because the paste is going to be wet when you first start using it. So it's not quite dry yet. So before I flip it over to do the other side, we do have a dryer that you can purchase in our catalog, and it has two settings. It has a really low setting and a higher setting, and you just kind of want to rub it around just to blow dry the wet paste or ink that you might have. Don't hold it too close, because the paste will get too hot and it'll bubble, and you don't want it to bubble unless you're going for that effect, and that's totally fine. We learned that my daughter made one of those porch leaners, one of those welcome signs for her room, and she was talking to me, and she was kind of going like this and talking and not realizing that her heater was right on that paste, and it started to bubble like it was boiling. So this paste doesn't take long to dry. Now, if we were using a shimmery paste, then those take a little bit longer, because it has the glitter and stuff in it that takes to dry. But you'll know it's dry when you touch it and it doesn't come off on your finger. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to come over here and let you guys see how cute that is. Isn't that awesome? Joy! Yes, love, love, love. This is my favorite time of the year. So now that this is on here, what I want to do is I want to turn this so that way when I do the other side, I'm doing it the same way. So that way it's not like I do it this way and then turn it around and like, oops, it's upside down. So, so I'm just going to turn it around this way, so that way I can do our next transfer. And this one is one day or day one, you decide, which is a great saying. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to kind of mix up some of the colors so you guys can kind of see how it looks doing, and how to do multiple colors if you're doing that. So give me, hold on 1 second, let me write on the back. One day. There we go. Okay, And again, you want to fuzz. Take this off and just kind of keep doing it until you think that it's like, okay, it's not feeling like it's super stuck to the cloth here. Sometimes you'll get a transfer that's really, really sticky, and you really want to fuzz it good, especially like I said, if you're using it on the glass or a metal, like a stainless steel, like can or something. You just want to make sure you do, because what will happen is this green part here will stick so hard to the surface that it actually will, when you peel it back, it'll actually stay on your surface. And then not only do you have that, but then you have all the little holes in your transfer here, and it's not good. So, okay, so let me turn this around. Let me just get this centered. And again, I'm going to put it up at the top. There we go. So I can turn this around so you guys can see. So what I think I'm going to do is, let me put my glasses on here. I'm thinking that what I'll do is, let's do the berry on this part here on one day, and then we'll do the Couture teal. We'll do that with the arrows and the ore, and also down here you decide with the arrows down there, and then we'll do this really pretty sparkly shimmer plum on day one. How's that sound? I think that sounds good. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. So let me go ahead and get these open. I don't think I've even used this berry one yet, so it's pretty brand new. May have used it once, but these are all the new colors for fall that have just come out. And you'll notice that they come with these little toppers. I usually just set those back in the lid, so that way it's a little seal for when you're all done, and it seals the pastes up. And this is one of my favorite colors, the teal. So it kind of matches everything. I love it. Okay, so when you are doing multiple colors, it's a little easier now to use multiple pastes, because the new paste here isn't thick like the other one, so you have a little bit more time to work with it. But when you're first getting started, I definitely recommend maybe doing 1 or 2 lines at a time if you're doing different colors, and then peeling it back, maybe drying it, and then laying it back down, and then pressing this part down again, and then finishing up your project. Because if at the first time, when you first start doing it, sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of get used to how things go. And if you are taking your time doing all of it, it may, the paste may dry in the silk screen. So when you peel the transfer back, it's going to take the chalk with it. So it won't look great. It won't look good. So, so when you're getting started, just take your time. And you know what? If you guys mess up, just spritz it with some water, wipe it off, and start again. That's what I love about this. Now, if this is a project that you really love, that whatever you're doing, and you want to keep it forever and ever, then all you have to do is spray it with a clear sealer, and it's on there permanent. You don't have to worry about it. So if someone spills something on it or whatever, it's not gonna, dissolve and run away like it would if it was just regular, chalk. So so just remember that as you're learning how to do this, just wash it off, try it again. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and take this really pretty berry paste. It's kind of like a mauve color, and what I'm going to do is just going to start here and just kind of put all my paste down. you need to turn it to get the other direction, you can. Sometimes I like to come this way because it's easier depending on which hand you're using, if you're right or left-handed, just to get that extra paste off. And then I'm going to put that extra back in my jar. And then I'm going to get my my teal here. I'm going to turn this around this way, and I'm just going to cover up those little tiny little arrows. Get a little bit more chalk if you need it. There we go. And keep turning it if you want to make sure you got all the sides. You just have to be careful. You don't want to run into the next line unless you want to, because I know you can do like an ombre look and all kinds of things. I'll show you guys that this week, how to do an ombre look. Okay, I'm going to put this back in here, and then just for giggles, I'm going to lift this up so you guys can see it real quick. There we go. Okay, so we can see how, whoops, there we go. So we can see how I've done part of it already, okay? So what you want to do is you want to pull the transfer down just a little bit, get your little heater, and point the heater away from the transfer. If the transfer gets too hot, it will start to melt as well. You don't want to melt the transfer, because again, it will distort it and then you won't be able to use it because it won't lay down flat again. So just kind of keep that heat away from the transfer crease here. And then just kind of make sure that these are all nice and dry. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this back down, and I'm just going to kind of press the transfer up, and I'm just going to push down where I need to paste next. Okay, so now I'm going to use this really pretty shimmer plum. This is such a beautiful, beautiful color. There we go. So when you're using the shimmers, something I can recommend is it's a little bit different when you use this compared to using just the regular paste. You don't want to wipe off too much of the extra paste that you have on here, because if you wipe it too much, then you're going to wipe away all that really pretty sparkle. And I don't know about you, but I like the sparkle, so I want it to just kind of be real shimmery and sparkly. So I won't wipe off. I'll wipe off a little bit, but not all of it like I did with the other ones, just so I can keep that look and keep that shimmer on there. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the teal. Wipe that excess off. It's kind of like you squeegee it on and then you kind of squeegee it off. Oops. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift this back up. Actually, let me turn it around this way. And then I can just pull this all back. Now, I always look too to make sure that I covered everything. And then, because if I miss something, then I can lay it back down and I could take my squeegee and I could chalk it again real quick before I remove the whole thing. There we go. I'm actually gonna just set this right back here onto the paper here because I'm not gonna wash it just yet. And that's totally fine to do. And then here you go. We have this here. Now you'll notice I kind of made a boo-boo right down here on the bottom. I kind of overstretched it. So all you have to do is take your little squeegee here, your board eraser, just rub it and it comes right off. You guys see that now? It's all gone. Isn't that cool? So that's why I said if you guys make a mistake on your project, just wash it off. It's okay, and you start over again. So, and then we're gonna dry this. Now when you dry the shimmer, it does take a little bit longer to dry. I think I mentioned that a little bit ago. So, so just take your time. Just this one I wouldn't touch real as soon as you would with the other one. But just set it aside. If you don't have a heater or even an embossing tool, heater, you can use your blow dryer. It's totally fine. Or you can just set it down and you can just let it air dry. It'll take maybe 20 minutes, or not even, depending on how hot it is in your house or wherever you're doing it. So, but yeah, there we go. I think it turned out really, really cute. Love it. And then on the other side, we have Joy. Isn't that awesome? So then we can stick it in here. There we go. So one day. And there we go. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat below. Sorry I haven't been talking to you guys. I wasn't able to see all the way over there on the phone to read what was happening. So I will go back through and look at all your comments. I'm glad you're here. So I forgot to say that if you are here, pop on and say hi and let me know where you're from. And I just got right into it, so I was just excited to show this to you guys. But yeah, this is what we do. It's just a lot of fun. So I'll be going live every night this week. So about at the same time, 6 o'clock your time. Yes, 8 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock my time. So if you have any questions about anything, please message me. And I also have my VIP group. I'd love for you guys to join, so that way you can kind of see what's going on. And I do lots of videos and post lots of things in there as well. So and I get to tell you a little bit about what the company's doing, or if there's stuff that's been on back order that, if it's coming back in and it is available again. I post a lot of stuff in there, so I'd love to have you join, and we can all get chalking together. Or you can, if you fall in love with this and you want to do a party of your own, we can certainly schedule a party, whatever you'd like to do. All right. So, all right. Well, you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.